Welcome back to Finnegan Begin Again. Today we are working on the bottom side of the engine. The goal today is to get the crankshaft in. And one of the things we need to do to get the crankshaft in is we need to verify that our oil gap is correct. We should be having about 2 thousandths oil gap, because even though the crankshaft is on a bearing, we need to have lubricant in between those two. So we're going to use, we had the machine shop work the crankshaft, and we have bearings that are matching what they have undersized the crankshaft to. But what they always say, trust but verify. Hopefully the machine shop did a good job, but we're going to verify it. This is kind of our last chance to verify all of that. So I'm going to finish getting the bearing shells into place on both the caps and the journal bottoms there. And then we are going to plastigauge. We also need to get the main oil seal piece in back here. And then we're gonna put the crank in, torque it down, and then remove it, and we'll see what the plastigauge tells us is the gap between our bearings and our crank. So this is our upper main oil seal. It's actually a fragile piece of pot metal, but this is new old stock because I don't have one of these. This block didn't come with one. My other one does, but apparently they're very easy to break when you're trying to take them off. So I just found one on eBay and purchased it. Now what they recommend is before I put this in, that I put in a layer of RTV silicone into this groove, and it'll be the same thing on the other one. And it broke.
It broke.
Of course.
What broke? Oh. Okay, now you have to hammer that again. Then what are you going to do?
Well, that didn't go as planned. I did have, I guess, a few concerns. Seemed like it was going to be a tight fit, but I had to try. Otherwise you never know. Maybe I need to heat up the block, maybe I need to heat up the piece. I'm not exactly sure, but either way we're gonna have to find the solution. Yeah, looks like I'll be going shopping for another piece. So I found another upper oil seal. It's going to be here any day now. In the meantime, we can still move forward with testing out our oil gap for the crank, because that seal actually doesn't contact the crank in any way, so it's not going to be a problem if we don't have it in there when we do this test. So I'm gonna finish getting the bearings in, we'll get some plastigauge in there, and then we will stick our crank in, torque it down, and then undo it all, take the crank back out, and see what our plastigauge tells us our oil gap is. All right, this is plastigauge, and it's just a little thin strip. When I take it out, you'll see it's just this little thin string of plastic. And right out here, you've got, this is the inch side, this is the metric side. You've got a measuring scale. And there's lots of them. All of these are the same. As you tear it off, you can use it multiple times. But it basically, once we take it off, we'll see how wide that plastic has smashed. Match it up to one of these, and it'll give us our indication of our gap. And we're looking for 2 thousandths, which would be this green stripe right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little bit. Right there. I don't know if you can see it, but that is as thin as it is. Then we'll lay it across here. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow away. Do the same thing for the others. Oops. Look at the other piece. Okay, so now we're gonna install the crank.
Crank!
A very heavy piece of equipment.
Can I build one piece?
Okay, look out. Here we go. Of course I do it backwards.
This is very cool, Dad. Where did you get it?
Huh?
Where did you get this?
Get what?
It's so hard.
This piece that came out of the engine originally.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's heavy.
I would hope you.
Thank
Is that
you.
a good question to do for that for this video? Is it?
Yeah.
That's stable.
Wait a minute. Watch your fingers. Watch your fingers.
Oh, I see. So this will
There we
turn
go.
when this turns. This will turn when this turns. What?
That's right.
What will turn?
There we go.
Can I try to turn it?
Hmm?
Can I try to
Nope,
turn
don't turn it, because we don't want to do that. We want to get it all bolted down now so that we can see how much squish we get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to put our bearings in the journal caps.
Right here and here. Here and there.
Just like this. So you stick it in, see how it's got that tab right there?
Yeah.
And it's got the cutout right there. We're going to match those up. Position right.
Dad, can I go get the screws? I'll get my soda.
Okay, so that one's installed. Little hit with a soft mallet. Gets it perfectly positioned. Now we'll put it in place.
So next, in the middle. And next, we're doing these sides. Hey! I bet this is the middle.
Do not yell.
I bet it's in here.
Give
I
it to me.
go.
If you're going to fight over pieces, you're not going to help.
And for the 6, we'll make you take this.
This is fun getting installed. It's quite a tight thing.
The engine. We're
Wiggle,
working
wiggle,
on
wiggle.
the engine.
Let's get the rubber
I don't
mallet.
want to say
Tap it along its way.
Gee. I'll say.
Slowly but surely going into its seated position.
Has seated.
Should be fun to get back on.
It's getting us seated because it's Finnegan's engine. Building it. Dad.
When we get new windows. Okay, there's that one. Now, for these two journals, they look very, very similar, but they are ever so slightly different in that the notch on one of them is a little bit closer to the stud hole than the other.
Dad, can I go in there? Dad. Dad, I wanna go
Sure.
in there. But I
This one.
can't.
I don't know if you can see. But this one is when you look at it, you can see that it's definitely, this notch is closer to that stud hole. And that one goes in the middle, here.
Next, can I use the rubber mallet?
If we need to, sure.
Dad, I can't even get mallet. Dad, I can't get in.
Okay. Well, then you're not going to get in.
Yes. Well, you're stuck.
Yeah, that stuff is there for a reason.
Well, I can't get in. Can I just put this on the ground? I don't think so.
Okay, we torqued our crankshaft in place up to 75 foot-pounds, and that compressed the plastigauge, as you can see right there. I don't know what happened to this one, kind of got lost. And that one there. Now, we're going to use our little gauge here and see that we have a little bit more compression. It's not quite, maybe it's 15 thousandths to 2 thousandths, somewhere in between there, but definitely not that. So some reports say between 1 and 15 thousandths, others say in between 15 thousandths and 2. I think that's good for that one. And then up here at this one, we have almost perfectly 2 thousandths. So I'm going to call that good. Yay. All right, I got another one in the mail. And watch this. You remember how I was having to hammer the other one in? Watch this. Perfect fit. There was just something wrong with that other one. Perfect fit. Now I just have to put that RTV back on it, stick it in place, and we're ready to put the crankshaft in. Yeah. So we did the exact same thing with the rear main journal as well. We put that seal in as well with a little bit of RTV. So now it's time to get that crankshaft in and get our main journals torqued down. All right, we have our cam aligned with our mark here at the top. We're going to make sure that the crank gear that mates up to this and its mark is also aligned to this gear tooth. We've already got our bearings here oiled up with some of the engine break-in oil that I'm going to be using. So now it's just a matter of picking up the 65-pound piece of iron that's been balanced, putting it in, and then our heart will be installed. Missed it by one. And there it's on, mark to mark. All right, will it rotate? Yeah. Nice. Okay, now it's time to get caps on. Well, that's not good. I think I was being a little pessimistic. Just need to get a little bit more angle on it. There it goes. And it moves smoothly as it moves. Okay, up to 65. Woo! Okay, that's the crankshaft installed. Torque to 75 foot-pounds. Now we just need to get our lock wire, put it in there, get it over to the other side, make sure these never come off. Until, of course, we want them to. Woo! Now it's getting the pistons in. Next step. Couple other things that we can do. We can get our oil galley shields in place. Now they have an F here on each one of them. That indicates that that side is supposed to be facing the front of the engine, which is up here. So we just pop those in place on the oil galley right here. And they just snap right on. And back here. And voila, there's that one. One last thing we can probably do on this one, well, maybe two. We can get our oil galley relief plug in there. And back here, we can put in our oil pump idler gear, which we have put a new bearing in for. So the oil valley relief plug is just that. When it sees pressure, it sits down here in its little seat on a spring, and when it sees enough oil pressure, it pushes that spring up, and that allows oil to get past and get down onto the cam bearing in the front here. Just stick it in place and right on the cap. We can find the lead thread. There we go. All right, I'll get that either hand tight or torque to spec. All right, now it's just the idler gear. We're done for today, but I'll give you a little bonus after we're done with that. All right, I need to get new bolts for the idler gear cover back here, so we're not gonna be doing that today, but a little bonus, watch this. Watch this, so exciting. Look, it's an engine. Look at those valves work. Yay. It's an engine. Hallelujah. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. It's going to help with the algorithm so I can get this out to more people. Never know. Might come in handy for somebody, not just entertainment. Well, have a great day, and I hope that this encourages you to step out and do a project that you've always dreamed of doing. Take care.